Well, I was in my 20s, and in Los Angeles, it was a hotbed of the contemporary art world. There really was one figure, even at that time, who was this sort of eminence grise, and that was Richard Diebenkorn. The Whitney exhibition really was, I think, seminal. It was the first occasion on which Diebenkorn's unique trajectory from abstract artist to becoming a figurative artist in a time when being a figurative artist was simply unheard of, and then returning to abstraction. One of the big surprises for all of us, no one thinking about Richard Diebenkorn would anticipate that well more than half of the work is black and white or charcoal and gray figurative drawings. He just never stopped looking at the world and drawing it. The sheer enormity of it, the sheer variety of it, the sheer freshness of some of the things that he just stored away and never showed, it was so overwhelming, and there was just no other conclusion that one could come to, that this is impossible. I mean, this man's a prodigy. There's just nothing to equate it to. Each volume has its own nature and its own personality. Volume 1 includes the great chronology. I have an introduction in the work. All 4 scholarly essays are there. And of course, the chronology in itself is like a juicy biography of the artist. So I think that'll be the thing that is most read by most people. Volumes 2, 3, and 4 were very organically organized. Volume 2, Albuquerque and Berkeley, the first glorious full-scale paintings. Some people love those more than anything. Volume 3 is the figurative work. Volume 3 is the largest, all of those hundreds of representational drawings. And Volume 4, of course, is the great Ocean Park period, and the Clubs and Spades period, and a special treat in Volume 4, which is the personal, funky, funny, amusing, clever cards and special little gifts and things that he gave for family and friends. My essays, there are 15 essays, to sort of locate the viewer with that particular moment that we're seeing on the pages, so that they could know where the artist was living at the time, what the studio was like, what was going on, and they can sort of orient the reader. And that Phyllis loved that idea. So that was something we both knew we wanted to do.
When the 1998 retrospective came into my life, my eyes were really opened, and it was a magnificent experience, and that was right at the moment that I was starting to catalog for the family. We were looking at copious amounts of abstraction, and there was a moment when a drawing came up. When we turned the drawing, suddenly I realized that I was looking at a sketch for a very large sort of body, de Kooning-esque painting. There it was in 1953, the first sign of figuration. It was completely unexpected and thoroughly exciting.
Well more than 50%, probably almost 2/3 of the work that Richard Diebenkorn made never left the family's possession, never left his possession. So much of what's in the Catalogue Raisonné is brand new to the world. That was just a complete shock.
My father kept even uncompleted works because he referred back to them. It was a huge amount. I mean, it was way beyond what any of us imagined. She and my father were a team, and her side of the team was keeping track, was support, was appreciation.
She was involved every step of the way. She saw and approved every page of the Catalogue Raisonné. Our only sadness is that she never got to see the finished book, but we know that it is what she wanted.
It was pretty exciting to see so much work and see the commitment of Trifolio.
Diebenkorn would have liked these people.
Oh,
he would have liked the way they looked at the work and the way they wanted to get the color right. I had him on my shoulder whispering in my ear saying, just get the color right. And we were able, working with them, to get more accurate color reproductions than we believe have ever been done.
He was always looking. He was always involved in what he was seeing.
He was a genius. He was a true visual genius.